With the World Cup wrapping up not too long ago, this video is perfect timing. A global event for unity, celebration, and of course, hate watching. It is something that is more prevalent now more than ever. Many fans hop on their couch rooting for a team to win, while also on another day, they are preying on everything they know that a specific team loses. For example, I know someday in the middle of July, I will be hoping for the Africa All-Star team to meet their demise and not make their third straight World Cup final appearance. And of course, I have my reasons. Also, comment down below who you were rooting for during the World Cup and which team in specific you were happy to see lose. I instead wanted to talk about another hate watch that happened not too long ago. May 30th. Does that date ring a bell? Maybe just another day on the calendar for people, but at the end of this day, I was asking myself, was this the greatest day of hate watching in sports history? On this day, the Champions League final between Arsenal and PSG took place, and later that night, the Thunder and Spurs played a Game 7 in the Western Conference Finals. Now, I'm not a fan of any of these teams. I don't dislike any of these teams. I didn't really have a horse in this race, or had any kind of fandom of any sort. But something I do remember is fan bases of many different teams were coming together just to see Arsenal fold and the Thunder sell, and funny enough, both of these teams lost these high-stake games. So what I decided to do with this information is do some research and see if I can come to the conclusion if this day was indeed the greatest hate watch of recent memory. And I will let you guys be the judge of that at the end. So yeah, let's babble. To build up this day or jog your memory, these two games happened on the same day, which involved two teams that were the most hated teams in their respective leagues. We will start with the first game that happened, which was the Champions League final between PSG and Arsenal. It felt like everyone who was not an Arsenal fan was rooting for them to lose, and there were a lot of reasons fans pointed out to which they made this a highly anticipated hate watch. Their style of play was a massive catalyst for disdain among other fans. Their style of defense with numerous occasions of parking the bus, their reliance on set pieces, and antics with clock management, people saw them as the antithesis of football. Another reason is their fan base. As recent times, they are considered almost far and away the most delusional, annoying, unbearable fan base. They constantly gas up their players to portray them as something better than who they are. And this channel right here that I'm showing on the screen mutated some of the fans into a different breed from the research I did.
At the pub, I was asking all of my guys a question. I asked it to James, I asked it to Lee judges, Troops was there as well, I asked it to Troops. I said, would you swap Gabriel Martinelli plus money to get the signing of Kylian Mbappe?
And you know what? They all
said no.
The final reason was Arsenal just clinched the Premier League title, and this didn't make their fans any quieter, obviously. I'm assuming a lot of people watching this video watched the game as well, so quick summary. Arsenal went up early and locked up PSG in the first half. PSG scored in the second half, and it was a stalemate the rest of the way. And the match went into penalties, and this moment right here apparently saved football. With the Thunder Spurs Game 7, the hate for the Thunder was built a little bit different in terms of reasoning compared to Arsenal. A lot of their hate surrounds their best player, SGA. I made a video about him a while ago. I will tag it right here. His antics and how he draws fouls has fans blowing steam out of their ears, and it is a very mainstream opinion coming into this year that he is the poster boy of flopping, which I mentioned in my past video. He's just doing what multiple stars have done in the past to have an advantage, but I digress. One thing I do agree with is they are not the most aesthetically pleasing team to watch. They play a rugged, very physical defense, and their offense is very hot and cold. And Shea himself is not as entertaining compared to other stars in the league when it comes to play style. How I was mesmerized watching Victor Wembanyama compared to Shea was night and day for me at least, even though they are considered neck and neck the two best players in the league. To summarize this game, it was very competitive. The Spurs had a well-rounded performance, and we had the chase down block of the decade, maybe. Shea was having a legacy game though, but the rest of the team were throwing up bricks, and the Lavesh from Sausage Party just turned into a pumpkin. After all that, basketball as well was saved, apparently, but a lot of that hate transitioned to Wembanyama during the finals, then to Knicks fans, then to Adam Silver again probably, as he concocts another tournament in the offseason with the dust that's falling off his dome, and the cycle continues. For many fans, this is a hard day to beat, but there are some random hate watches that I found and I tried to compare to this one. My only rule was that it had to be a combination of games on the same day. No single game events allowed. If you have some hate watches in the past that spoke to you, just make sure to comment those down below. I'll take a look, I promise. One I was able to find was a New York sports hate watch. On October 28th in 2024, 4 New York teams all lost on the same day, headlined by the Yankees losing Game 3 of the World Series. And this follows with the Giants losing on Monday Night Football to the Steelers, the Knicks losing an early season game to the Cavs, not that significant, but it would be crazier if there was a hockey game on that day to make the grand sports equinox L. There was no New York hockey game played on that day, but that's okay. We'll swap that out with an MLS game, even though nobody cares about what's going on down there. New York City FC lost a playoff game to Cincinnati FC, which makes 4 teams in the same city losing on one night. Absolutely absurd. Philadelphia sports had something close to this, with the Eagles, Phillies, and Flyers all losing on October 9th, 2025. The NBA season did not begin, and luckily for them, no MLS game was played this day, so they've been spared. The city cannot be too down, at least. Here's an interesting one that doesn't revolve around a player or a city, but an owner. So if you guys hate owners, this one might be for you. The Glazer family owns two major sports franchises, being the Tampa Bay Bucks and Manchester United. Now, the fans of these two franchises have conflicting opinions about the Glazer family. The family is despised by Man United fans for many different reasons, but to sum it all together, they believe that they are incompetent owners. As NFL owners, they're viewed as solid owners since they bought the team little over 30 years ago. And one thing that NFL owners do who own teams in the Premier League is they will consistently have their NFL teams play in London as part of their international series. And on the same day, October 23rd, 2011, their whole family got lined up and got their cheeks spread because the Buccaneers played a game in London against the Bears where they lost and it was not very competitive. And not too long after, Manchester United had their worst home loss in over 50 years in the Manchester Derby against Man City. Disaster class from the family's teams and was just a big tomato thrown in their face, and a very specific hate watch if anyone is into that. The last hate watch, I sort of cheat here because this one spans across an entire season, as the starter pack of bandwagon teams in American sports all missed the playoffs in the same season. The Cowboys being mid, the Lakers not having Kobe Bryant for most of the year, and the Yankees dealing with the suspension of Alex Rodriguez. All these teams missed the playoffs 12 years ago in the big 2014. This was a catastrophic time for LARPers and figuring out their new home, but hey, the World Cup happened this year, we can all LARP Brazil, and this will make up for all the disappointment, right? So, after all these events I compiled together, what conclusion do I want you to make of this? There's two possibilities. First one being my researching skills are complete ass, or what we witnessed that day was one day like no other. Two games on two big stages with two teams that were some of the most disliked in their leagues, both lost on one day. And nothing like this has ever occurred in recent memory, making this the greatest hate watch of our time. Anyways, that's about it. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subs as soon as possible. Like and comment some video ideas, any thoughts about the video, any insight is always appreciated, and I'll come out with some more videos soon. And until next time, stay safe.
Like and sub, cue the outro.